Ready?
It is.
Okay.
You can't stop me because I'm Rick.
Possible.
I think we should just start it with that. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the No Chaser podcast. I'm Timothy De La Ghetto.
I'm Rick Possible.
Nikki Blade.
Oh my goodness, that was great.
Rick Possible.
I heard they're doing a Kim Possible like read something.
They did a movie and everybody hated the actress they picked.
Yeah.
That sucks to get casted for a role you're super excited about. You're like, oh my God, I'm living my dream. And all of a sudden they're like, boo, you suck.
They do it to everybody now.
Yeah.
They did it to her. They did it to the
Jasmine, the girl who played Jasmine.
The girl who played Jasmine. The girl who's gonna play Ariel.
Yeah. Oh man, they went in on Ariel.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I mean, who was it that was supposed to play Aaliyah and then pulled out? Zendaya was supposed to play Aaliyah in that Lifetime movie, and then she pulled out.
That's good. She pulled out.
Yeah,
That.
no, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like anything that goes on to a network like Lifetime, you know that the biographies normally are not the best.
I think they need to just stop remaking things.
It's never gonna happen.
It's a you know what? It's like I feel that, and I also feel the struggle because it's so much harder for a big movie company to come out with an original movie that people are actually interested in.
Right, all that money.
But let me tell you, man, I've been a halfway movie buff for about 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
I be seeing everything almost. And a lot of the shit that wasn't remakes, just straight original stuff, I've liked.
Yeah.
Like from the horror movies, like all the Blumhouse shit that they put out.
Yeah.
I be loving that shit. Yeah. So just take a chance, Hollywood.
But to be fair, let me tell you something. I stumbled across one of the newer Power Ranger movies the other day, and that shit was lit.
Yeah.
What is it?
I really enjoyed it. Like I kind of was watching just as I was waiting for another show to come on. And if let me say real quick, I didn't do cocaine. If you see me red around my nostrils, I've been blowing my nose all day.
The Nose Chaser podcast.
The Nose Chaser podcast. Nikki Blades is funny today,
Man.
I missed you guys. Help me get out of my other jobs.
Allergies, man. Allergies is killing me. But yes, Nikki Blades is hilarious. It's the Nose Chaser podcast. And Power Rangers is lit.
Yeah.
I was watching and I do kind of like the idea of when they take some shit that was maybe a little lighthearted in the beginning and put a little darker edge on it. I like that shit sometimes.
Since we talked about Power Rangers, I just am wondering, if you could be a Power Ranger, what color would you be?
Oh, I was the Black Ranger all the time.
I mean, like you don't. It doesn't have to be black. It doesn't have to be a color that exists.
No, like when I
You just want to be. Yep.
Yeah, I wanted to be the Black Ranger.
They always pegged me as the Blue Ranger because I was smart. I was one of the smartest kids in the class. So they made me fucking Billy, the fucking nerdy ranger. And I always wanted to be either Jason or, of course, Black Ranger, cool ass Zach.
Did you see the first movie though?
Oh yeah.
Billy was ripped.
Was
son.
he?
Yes.
Damn.
He was swole and ripped.
I must have missed it.
Yeah, nah. Ivan, Secrets of the Ooze or some shit like that. No, that's Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
But Ivan Ooze was on Power Rangers. Whatever.
You know what I'm hyped for? When they finally remake a Mortal Kombat movie.
But see, all that shit you mentioned is different. Like Ninja Turtles are characters, Power Rangers are characters. You can do them same as Spider-Man and all that shit. But I'm talking about stuff like
Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles.
You want pour a shot?
Well, we're gonna drink.
Sure.
Okay.
LeBron and the dude who directed Old Town Road video are remaking House Party.
Oh, I see. It's similar when they're taking classics and putting a
just leave
new
it alone.
spin on them.
Yeah, like if you want to update characters, cool. But like,
is there one movie that you wish they would remake? Like it could have been better if they would have done it. Now.
I don't think there's one for me.
No.
Mine was Mortal Kombat, like, cause I liked
They did
it.
not do that movie justice.
No,
they
and
did terrible.
And here's the thing. Oh, okay. Yes. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers to you, Rick.
Sober friends, we all need them.
I always thought I thought Street Fighter movie was dope until Mortal Kombat came out, and I was like, yo, Street Fighter was trash. And then now that Mortal Kombat was out, and like as a little kid, I remember feeling like, yo, this shit is lit. Well, I wasn't saying lit back then, but yo, this is the bomb. This movie is the bomb. But I want them.
Hey, Aziz.
Dead on, like exactly.
The bomb. Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of things that I've watched for a long time and are the bomb. Our special guest today is an OG YouTuber, a lovely lady. And I've watched her videos, and I also felt like a connection to her content, because back in the day, it wasn't a whole lot of people doing videos about sex and sex advice on YouTube in the way that we were. You know what I'm saying? If anybody was doing sexual videos back then, it was all like kind of a joke. I feel like me and this person were the only ones who really trying to give real advice to these kids back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And we suffered some demonetization as a result, but it's okay because we cared. Make some noise for our guest today, Laci Green. Woo! Yay! Yay, Laci Green.
Hey.
Oh, girl. It's true.
Oh, I hadn't really thought about that for a long time. Like, it really has changed so much.
It's changed a whole lot.
Also with like the sex content online, and nobody can talk about it anymore.
Because it's not lucrative anymore. No one's making any money doing it.
I know, but that's sad because people need to talk about it.
They do.
Am I doing this right? Hello?
Yeah, you're good. You can throw the headphones on if you want.
If you like.
You don't have to.
Am I gonna hear my own voice?
Yeah. Kind of.
That distracts me.
Nothing different than how you're hearing yourself now.
Yeah, actually, I prefer them.
Okay.
I prefer them too. Some people don't like them.
Got you. You hear yourself. No.
I'm gonna go ahead.
She's like, I don't do this.
It's really loud. I'm good. Yeah,
Okay.
so I can hear you guys.
Okay.
All right, guys, but real quick, my main thing is I want to make sure you guys are smelling good and feeling fresh out here in these stinky, stinky streets. That's why me and wifey use Native products, all right? At Native, they create safe, simple, effective products that people use in the bathroom every day, and they create products with trusted ingredients and trusted performance. If you're not convinced, check out their 8,000 5-star reviews from the customers, okay? Now check it out. They're formulated without aluminum, parabens, or talc, filled with ingredients found in nature such as coconut oil, which is antimicrobial, shea butter, which is a moisturizer and emollient, and tapioca starch, which absorbs wetness. It's not tested on animals, and it's free shipping and returns, okay? Now, like I said, me and Chia do use this product. It works, and which makes it really easy to switch from what I used to use to using this more natural deodorant, okay? Native also comes in a wide variety of enticing scents for men and women, plus they release new limited edition seasonal scents throughout the year. They also offer an unscented formula and baking soda-free formula for those with sensitivities. Now, me, I like that lavender and rose, you know what I'm saying? Kind of soft, yet strong at the same time, or maybe I might use a little cucumber mint, or maybe eucalyptus and mint. I just like smelling minty, And like I said, it's no risk to try. They offer free returns and exchanges in the USA. I got a special offer for all No Chaser listeners. You get 20% off your first purchase. Just visit nativedeodorant.com and use promo code No Chaser during checkout, okay? Like I said, that's 20% off your first purchase. Visit nativedeodorant.com and use promo code No Chaser and get out in these streets and smell good in a natural way. All right, guys, look around, okay? It's a wireless world out there, except for in this room right here. But it should be wireless in here because everywhere else is wireless, and that's why y'all should check out the wireless earbuds from Raycon, okay? You already know Raycon earbuds start at about half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market, and they sound just as amazing. Now, these are facts. I actually use them. They sit really comfortable in your ear, and they sound really good, okay? Raycon's latest model, the E25, is their best one yet, with 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design that gives you a nice noise isolating fit. All right, Raycon's wireless earbuds are so comfortable and perfect for the on-the-go listening and for taking phone calls. Now, this is good for me, you know what I'm saying? I hate going to the gym, but I force myself to go. I need to do cardio because I'm doing all these food shows, and your boy's been getting a little fluffy, so I need to listen to something while I'm on the treadmill, and that's why the little Raycon headphones are perfect. And I like to sit in the sauna because, you know what I'm saying, it helps my pimples. I be having pimples, so I sit in the sauna, helps flushes me right out, but I need to just tuck the little Raycon earbuds in my ear so I just, lay out and ignore the sweaty men next to me, okay? And here's what you need to know also. Unlike some of your other wireless options, Raycon earbuds are both stylish and discreet with no dangling wires or stems. You've heard me talk about how the company was co-founded by Ray J and celebrities like Snoop Dogg, Cardi B, and Brandy. They are all obsessed with Raycons, so you should pick up a pair and see what the hype is all about, all right? Come be as stylish as me and Ricky and Nikki. Buy Raycon.com/NoChaser for 15% off. Buy Raycon. BUYRAYCON.com/NoChaser for 15% off.
Well, hey, welcome.
Thanks.
I got some things. I watched your most recent video.
Okay.
And so a lot of new things are happening.
Yeah.
One thing being you're quitting YouTube.
Kind of, for the most part, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll still post videos, but like when I say I'm quitting YouTube, I think I've realized that means something different to me than it does maybe to a lot of people.
Okay.
It means I'm not going to be a full-time YouTuber anymore. Like,
Right.
don't expect to see content from me every week. People already know that though.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like telling them what they already know.
When did you start?
On YouTube?
Yeah.
I think my first video was in 2007.
What was it called?
It was called God Hate. Can I say words?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God Hates Fags.
Yes. You're
Not that one.
Not that one.
Ah, no.
I don't know. I
No,
feel
no.
bad saying that word because it's not a nice word. But
It's
that was
not.
the name of the video because it was about the Westboro Baptist Church.
Right.
And this was when all of that stuff was going on. There was like a bunch of people protesting military funerals, this horrible stuff. So the first video I made, I was a teenager, like, what the hell is going on here? This is really fucked up. It was kind of like my first exposure to some of the nastiness of the world, right? Like, I had grown up in this very shielded bubble, I guess.
Where'd
A
you grow up?
Mormon bubble.
Oh, were you Mormon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where'd you grow up? And let's talk about Mormonism.
Oh, great.
So that's what I wanted to
favorite.
do today. Yeah, okay.
I grew up all over the West Coast.
Okay.
Portland, Oregon, Sacramento, Bay Area.
A lot of Mormons in
Wow.
Portland.
Yeah.
Are there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't live there anymore, so I don't know. But yeah, Mormonism was like a big part of my childhood and definitely like informed a lot of the feelings that I had because I was really sheltered.
Okay, so at what point did you go from I am a Mormon girl to I am a YouTube sexologist?
It happened overnight. It was like, I need a new life, new identity. Here we go. I would say that was like a gradual thing. I mean, I was a teenager just kind of figuring shit out like teenagers do. And, you know, I stopped being a Mormon when I was pretty young, like 12 or 13. And then YouTube was not even around then. So maybe when I was 17, I was interested in abstinence-only education, like as a horrible force in my
Abstinence
life.
only?
Yeah.
Oh, from the Mormonism shit.
Yeah, but that's also how a lot of teenagers get sex ed now.
Right.
So that's still a thing. It's not just a Mormon thing.
Okay, so why did you feel like you needed to start making videos about sex ed and stuff like that? Like, what made you feel like, you know what, there's not enough of this
Yeah.
accessible to the youth?
Well, I think for me, I had like a pregnancy scare when I was 16 and was wondering if I was gay and had a lot of questions that I didn't really have anyone I could talk to about. And this was pre-YouTube, so there's not, you know, now it's so different. Like, if a kid thinks they're gay, they can just log on
Yeah, now you can-
Instagram or YouTube, and there's like a million different gay people.
You can literally search up "Am I gay?" on YouTube, and there's like 100 different videos of people
Seriously.
explaining it.
With millions of views.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's wonderful. I mean, I wish that had been around when I was a kid. I was probably like the very last, right? Like the very last generation to not have that as a kid. So I started making that stuff on YouTube, hoping that I would be able to find other kids or other teenagers who are struggling and, you know, offer them support because I lived in a relatively liberal area compared to the rest of the country. You know, if I was having those questions, surely a lot of other kids were too.
Okay. So, okay, what do you feel like? Do you in your years of making sexy videos to the sexy kids?
Weird phrasing.
Very.
I know what you mean, though.
I don't.
I don't know. That's how we're supposed to address that.
What do you you know? Hey, no, let's make it uncomfortable. What do you feel? What do you feel? Do you get asked the most? Because me doing my videos, I feel like I get kind of basically the same questions over and over and over again. What do you feel like were you getting asked the most and like the most often, and you kind of had to answer all the time?
I want to know your answer to this question too.
Okay.
But for me, it was, can I get pregnant from XYZ? So insert random sex act here. You know, can I get pregnant from this? And also a lot of questions about what's normal. Like, my dick looks weird or something, you know, like, is this bump normal?
They were coming to you when they had like a ingrown hair and shit.
Yeah, no, actually.
Look
like,
at
do I
this
have
picture.
herpes now?
Is this weird?
Man, let me tell you something. Speaking of that, I remember being in college and thinking, and I had like an ingrown, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, it happens, right? But then, of course, you're a sexually active youth, and you feel like, oh my god, I have herpes. So I remember having like a little bump near like the base of my dick. And then like Googling, of course, like what could this be? And immediately I was like, holy shit, I have syphilis. I was like, oh my God, I have syphilis. And I remember, so at Cal State Long Beach, you know, if you're a student, you have just access to like, you know, you basically have like healthcare on campus, right? So I was in there and I was like, okay, so I just want to make sure I don't have syphilis. And the doctor,
Timmy.
Yeah, she immediately like laughed. She was like, you don't have syphilis. I was like, okay, thanks. She looked at it, she's like, you don't have syphilis. Don't worry. I was like, thank God. But I remember back then, you know, feeling so syphilized. No, unsyphilized. Feeling like so, you know, I had so many questions about so much shit because like, you don't learn a whole lot in school. You know, you learn like the basic shit, right? But especially in terms of like STIs and shit like that. Like I remember being freaked out about everything, especially when I was like had that point in my life where I was kind of really active, you feel me? And I remember even one time like I had like a piece of like lint on the tip of my dick, but it didn't look like lint.
Is this not a real lint?
Yeah. I remember like I think I had the doctor's like number and I go like, okay, so there's this thing on the tip of my penis, it came off. It wasn't there before and it came off. She's like, you're fine. I was like, thank God.
Hey, I don't like this doctor. Like, she doesn't care. You're good, bro. But you haven't seen. You're good. Okay.
She just knew. So you know, so for you, you know, of course, like I feel like it's important to put out information.
Yeah.
For people, for kids,
Sexy children.
the sexy children who don't have the sexy information.
What questions were you getting? Because you're a guy. I wonder if they were coming to you with different stuff.
I mean, to be honest, I mean,
Hey Tim, I'm a sexy kid. How do I get girls to like me?
Just a sexy kid needing some sexy
Without
advice
much
from a sexy man.
a sexy kid trying to get at other sexy kids. What's up, man? Nah. I when I was doing my Dear De La Ghetto videos, majority of my questions were, hey Tim, how do I talk to this girl that I like? And if it wasn't that, then it was, how do I get over this girl that rejected me? That was my main shit.
They were asking about the emotional stuff, like the
Guys,
feelings.
yeah. Guys are emotional.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
They like to pretend they're not, but
Yeah.
we all know.
You ever have any like, you know, since you were doing like, you know, sexual videos, did you have any weird like creepers in your like? Did you have any weird situations, like scary situations?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people who feel like, well, something that I realized recently was, you know, I used to do like live streams on. Do you remember Blog TV?
Of course.
Yeah. So doing streams on Blog TV and realizing that like the majority of the viewers in there were guys like in their 50s. And at the time, yeah, I was like 18, 17, right? At the time, there was something that felt a little bit strange about it, but it didn't really hit me how strange it was that so many really older, much older than me dudes tried to like form a relationship with me when I was that young.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, just in general, there was stuff like that, but there's been some people who showed up at, you know, I toured around the US for like 6 years.
Oh,
and
shit.
Yeah, I spoke at like hundreds of schools, and I occasionally had guys show up and would sit in the back of the auditorium, and I always knew it was like, oh, it's one of them.
Oh God.
Because they aren't students. They're so much older than the rest of the audience, and they don't say anything, right? They're just like sitting in the corner, and it's really uncomfortable.
With a blanket over them.
Oh You mean over their lap?
Yeah.
I just like, as soon as you said that, I just like every creeper that I see that writes me. I did like live streaming for a little bit on this one Asian app called Livestar.
Yeah.
They send gifts and they do all that, Livestar.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I would always do like these rants that I do with some of my like my friends, and they're older, and we would see some of the comments, and I'd be like, hey, go look this person up, and we're like, oh my god. This is somebody's grandpa or somebody's dad. Clearly, this is somebody's father that, that his wife is somewhere where they're not, like around the corner, like, and he's just over here like,
yeah.
really gross.
Yeah, and I mean, it depends how they're engaging, right?
Yeah.
like the way they're talking to you. I don't think it's weird for older guys to
No,
watch.
it's the
It's
ones
the type
that
of
make
engagement that
Yeah.
is sought out,
Yeah.
and especially as a teenager. Now it
Yeah.
doesn't really.
Well,
give a fuck.
so
But
he-
when I was
Grown
younger,
now.
it's like.
Here's a weird tangent. When I did a panel in San Francisco one time at an Asian American film festival, right? And whenever people ask me like, "Yo, what's your weirdest fan interaction?" I always tell them this moment. And I was speaking, and before the panel even started, there was a dude that came in with some friends, and I had just did a video about why like everybody should masturbate and like it's good for you and and it's healthy and this and this and that. And this kid came in and he's in the back of the theater screaming. Now mind you, this is like a film audience too. This isn't like a bunch of kids too. This kid's in the back going, "Tim, I masturbate because of you. I love you." And I was like, all right, cool, man. Thank you. But everybody else there didn't know I just did a masturbation video. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But he's like, "I
dear.
masturbate because of you, Tim. I love you." I was like, cool, man.
Thanks. Don't shake my hand after.
No, so afterwards, he's saying the same shit, but he's hugging me. "I masturbate because of you, Tim. Thank you." And then, so I've told this story like multiple times in different videos or whatever. And then, so a couple years ago, I was in Vegas, right? Were you with me?
I don't think
Probably not. All right, so I was in Vegas, and this dude now, not a kid, comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, man, I don't know if you remember, but one time I was screaming at you that I masturbate because of you in San Francisco." I was like, "Shut the fuck up." Dude, I tell that story so many times. He's like, "No way." we dapped
Then
it
you
up.
masturbate.
Yeah, we
Oh,
cut each other off. Yeah, it was
That's a happy
lit.
Doc,
ending.
y'all,
Yeah,
Doc.
literally.
That was good.
I love that story. That's that's the power of YouTube.
Full
For
circle jerk.
coming in there.
Coming in there.
I mean, yeah. All right, so we have some questions on Instagram from some people here who just want to know about Laci Green and what she's been up to because they love you.
Oh, that's sweet.
Once again, I was not doing cocaine. I was blowing my nose.
Oh my God.
Sure he wasn't.
Today's episode of the Nose Chaser podcast.
I just realized I have met you before.
Really?
Yeah, at a sex convention. Shannon Boudrum
Oh yeah.
talked me into going to a sex convention. Totally let me believe it was something it's not. And
False
yeah, she
advertising?
introduced me to you.
Wait,
there.
which sex convention?
I don't
There's
know.
a few.
It was here. It was in LA.
Sexpo, maybe?
I
It was
don't
like a
remember.
bunch of booths with sex toys.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what were you expecting when you went?
Sexy stuff.
An orgy.
Cause she kept saying, no,
Obviously.
not an orgy. I didn't think anything was gonna happen, but she just kept saying it's a sex convention. She wouldn't tell me the name. She wouldn't tell me what it is. She's like, how are you gonna say no to that? It's a sex convention. I was like, all right, fine, Shannon. So I met her up somewhere. We went in there, and it was like educational shit
Yeah.
and like
I wanted to see.
You thought it was gonna be like a porn convention.
something. The way she was saying it in a way to lead me there.
She convinced you. You went. You were
She
disappointed.
just didn't want to go along, basically.
There is like an adult convention in
Yeah,
LA, a
adult
few of
con.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
there's a few. Well, speaking of adult things, fam with a PH being fam with an F asks you, Laci, and everyone else on No Chaser. He says, "I've got a homegirl who says she's absolutely, in all caps, against anal. But she loves
End of discussion.
she loves all aspects of sex. What is the proper way to get her to warm up to the idea?"
You don't, bro. She's absolutely against it.
Absolutely, but no pun intended. Laci, what you got to say?
I'm with Ricky. If she is absolutely not into a thing, that's it.
Yeah, no, I feel
That's
that
it. There-
because
I mean, there's a difference between being like open-minded. It sounds like she's open-minded. She's not against like sex as a whole, or I don't know.
Just said keep it out.
Can't
of my
can't
butt.
pressure people. Yeah, it's not for everyone, dude.
I had
It's more for men, actually. We've talked about this.
We have talked about this. I had a past episode of the podcast where I brought up I had a homegirl who introduced me to the concept of pegging, and that was Laci Green. And I was like,
who did
it
that?
was
Wow.
you. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And she told me about it. And if y'all are just tuning in for the first time, it's, where a girl like straps up with something and fucks the dude in the ass. And I was like, I would never do that. And she was like, you should open yourself up to it. And I was like, no.
This guy.
I think we should all be open-minded.
Yeah.
But it's okay to have boundaries.
Right.
It's a delicate walk. But I think that a lot of guys turn themselves off to this idea, this fun activity potentially, because they see it as gay or like girl stuff or emasculating, or there's like all this baggage around it.
Right.
But your G-spot's in your ass.
Yeah.
Like that is a biological truth for males.
And as I told you in the past, I poop way too much to ever be comfortable.
That could be a problem.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
could be a problem.
Like
It's not for everyone, but I say if you're comfortable with it, just try yourself a little bit. See if you like it.
You be pegging boys?
Huh?
You've pegged?
This isn't about
Yeah,
Yeah? Yeah. Is that and how was that?
it's fun. I mean, as long as they're enjoying it, that's fun for me.
Damn.
It was a special request.
Well, interesting.
Yeah, it's fun. They need to be into it. That's like for all sexual activities, right? But
Right.
especially something where someone might be nervous, and with anal stuff in particular, your central nervous system, like if you're freaking out, it will cause contractions and can cause pain. Like
Yeah.
you need to be relaxed, and that means being into it and wanting it. Like you should really want it, And that's why I say when someone says absolutely not, even if they might be open-minded, if they're nervous or like squeamish about it, it could hurt them.
Right.
So same for guys, but when they're really into it, it's a good time. It's prostate stimulation. It's a different kind of orgasm than a penile orgasm.
Yeah.
So
Here's the thing. I nut too fast as it is. So, and that's
no
just
extra pleasure.
yeah, that's just on my penis.
it's different. It's different kind though.
Tim's already concerned. He's like, listen.
Get in there.
Sorry, that never happened.
Enough. I have enough. What's funny about this guy is he says, I have this homegirl.
Right.
Like, what?
It's like, how
What do you
close-
care?
Yeah. Like,
If she's against it, leave her
I have this
alone.
homegirl. Fucking.
I have a question though. When was the first time that you pegged someone, and how was that for you?
It was. Let's see. I'm 29, so that was probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it didn't like do much for me.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't like getting off to it.
Uh-huh.
But I do take pleasure in my partner feeling good
Mhm.
and doing stuff that feels good to them, and being able to provide them with an experience that maybe is harder for them to find with their partner, with other partners. So yeah, it was enjoyable in that sense, and it's like I'm fine with this and comfortable as long as you're comfortable. But it didn't get me off.
Got it.
Have you ever hooked up with a fan?
No.
No.
I was like, was anybody a viewer? I have like dated YouTubers who had seen my videos before.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, look, as someone who has done like videos about sex and stuff like that, I feel like there was a time where there were fans that I hooked up with that probably were curious because I was always talking about fucking and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I ask you, because you do videos about dirty things. Like, I mean, I'm sure there was always people in your messages and DMs and shit just saying reckless shit.
Sometimes, but I feel like my audience has always been respectful too.
Right.
Because it's not, my videos aren't sexy.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
They're not.
sex.
They're like,
It's like the convention.
I try to have a non-sexy approach.
I
Yeah,
see.
because otherwise it creates a situation where it's like for sexual gratification.
I got you.
And like the whole point is just to like be able to learn away from sexy feelings,
I got you.
So I have had some of those problems, but not as much as maybe people imagine. And I also have no interest in hooking up with anyone that is a viewer of my videos.
Right.
Yeah. I've said this many times, and people always get mad at me when I say it. So sorry. Stay mad.
Open mind. It's closed.
So why are you then why are you taking a break from YouTube after all this time creating content on YouTube? Why do you feel like, you know what, I'm gonna step away from doing it like I used to?
Well, I already did step away.
Yeah.
So that was like the last year I haven't posted on
Okay.
YouTube and just started posting again. But I wanted to step away because I feel like YouTube became too crazy of a rat race. And like there's this expectation to just be pumping out content all the time. And especially in the like sphere that I'm in on YouTube, where it's like attracts more political types and attracts more passionate people. There's a lot of passion directed toward me.
Right.
That is
Translation: annoying ass people who think they know everything.
actually though annoying fuckers
Yeah.
who don't leave me alone and like cannot. I don't know, people who don't leave their computer.
Yeah.
So I was like, if you're not gonna leave your computer, I'm leaving mine,
Yeah.
and
That
I'm
makes
good.
sense.
I'm living my life.
Isn't it so crazy how people are extremely passionate about the topic of sex, but it comes from like they put politics, religion, and they
Yeah.
put all these things into this subject that for the most part everybody's doing, but they don't want to openly talk about it.
That's so true. Yeah, that's so true. And I think that's what makes the conversation about sex complicated, because people are coming at it from like a political view, from a religious view. It's tied up in all that stuff, and so it's fine for people to like feel strongly and to be coming from those perspectives. But as one person, also as a fairly introverted person who like needs a lot of space and time to myself, it just like overwhelmed me. I
Right.
just like reached my limit and had to log off for a while.
So I remember, speaking of you being introverted, I remember one of the first like YouTube conventions I ran into you at. You had just like, you almost had like beef with another YouTuber, and I just remember like feeling like it was so random. And so like why do you feel like people? Why do you feel like that person or people in particular would have beef with you? You're just Laci making little sex videos.
Well, I think because I am an opinionated woman, and like women who speak their mind and don't give a fuck about it, there is a taboo on that. Like people don't think about that much, but there's like some sort, I even experience it sometimes, some sort of like gut reaction I think some people have when a woman just kind of like says whatever the fuck she wants and you disagree with it. There's like rage that some people have.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but it like invokes this weird
Rage is the word.
It's like
Rage is the word.
I'm just speaking my truth. It's not meant to speak for you or over you or whatever. Like I just have strong opinions about the world, and
people
we
get
should
threatened. Yeah.
yeah, we should be able to share those without it being threatening.
Okay.
Rage is the word. I've experienced.
Who is the YouTuber though?
Rage.
Because like I've had a few beefs, I would say.
Oh, you don't remember?
No.
It was I'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
It was she was part of she was part of a channel where it was like I'll tell you off camera.
All right. All right.
In the YouTube world, because mind you, I'm staying out of it. I'm not, you had asked me what I do, and mine, morning radio. It's very different. I deal with a lot of people who are very that don't really want to express themselves, and when they call in is their chance because there's no face to it. So it's similar to when people write, but they're a lot more open. But YouTube seems like there's a lot of people fighting for this one space, and they choose to pick fights against each other to get views. So how is that, again, like you said, you're leaving it, so clearly it's hit a point, like a breaking point.
Yeah.
But do you guys notice that more like this is just a publicity stunt for them to fight with you?
I think so. I mean, there are whole giant YouTube channels that are dedicated to trying to make people fight.
Yeah.
And I've definitely like gotten wrapped up in that against my will. Like they just create that. And then all of a sudden you have thousands of people in your comments on your Twitter, on your Instagram, trying to like get you to talk about something that's not true, that's not real, that doesn't matter. And it's just like, what is going on? This is like a bizarre world where new realities are just fabricated out of nowhere,
So you're saying you and Shannon
so am I.
Boodram have beef? Is what you're saying to us right here?
I love Shan. No beef. It's usually people who just are like weirdly passive aggressive toward me because they don't like that I teach sex ed.
Right.
They don't like that I'm feminist. They don't like whatever. And it's never like overtly mean. it's always just kind of like
super passive.
mean girlsy. You know, it's like, okay, I get the idea.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Besides people asking you like, can I get pregnant from this? I feel like, are you getting older people writing in about like their sexual preferences, or do you notice it's mainly like younger people just having questions, or do you feel like some older people are going like, am I okay for liking this? Or
I'm a sexy grandpa.
And I like
get
those.
pregnant from?
Sometimes they don't learn, I will say. There are older people who have questions like that, who are like, I didn't even know this until I watched your video and I'm 50 years old.
Wow.
So yeah, a little bit, but it's definitely skews young. You know?
Yeah.
So, are you dating anybody now? That's what they all want to know.
Is it?
Yeah.
They.
I am dating someone, yeah.
Oh my god. And are you pegging him?
Oh my god.
You
No, that was just the first thing that came from.
I'm like, but I'm sitting there, I'm like, but I mean, I mean,
No mind. Bro.
don't pay attention to them, but you can just blink twice if that's what you. I'm interested.
Are you familiar with docking? We talked
Oh
about
my
that on the
God.
last episode.
She can't do that one.
What?
You can't-
Are you
look,
familiar with the term docking and what that is?
does anybody get off by doing it? Is
No,
it just
no,
like that's
I'm-
not
What's
just
talking?
I'm sure it's
See,
just a
I'm
joke.
scared to know.
Docking.
God.
Docking is when a guy puts his penis in the foreskin of another guy, like a Chinese
Oh, I
finger
have
crab.
heard of that. Nobody actually does.
No,
that.
I
it
would
can't
hope
be.
not.
Right?
I don't
Like,
think so.
what?
I mean, maybe if you're just fucking around and you're just like, let's see if this works.
Yeah, okay.
not like,
It's
does
not like
this
a
fit
sexual
here?
act.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. People do all kinds of shit that I don't understand. So
What if it goes like that?
Yeah, right. Oh,
Like what if they both hold?
Oh my.
oh, nice little hee-ho.
Red. Oh Lord. Now I got a visual again. Jeez.
I gotta look
Who-
this
who
up
did you
when I
picture,
get
though?
home.
Huh?
Who do-
You two.
I know it. I knew it. That's why I asked.
It's you two. 'Cause Rick
For
is
the
doing it
record?
towards Tim.
For the record, she has no clue of what either of our genitals
I
look like.
don't know, but I'm just watching. I just can imagine both of your faces going like, "Is this working for you?" It's not working for me. I can hear you guys going like this, and then doing it, and then being done,
Keeping score.
and then being
Some-
done,
somehow.
and then just I could just see Rick going, "This doesn't work for me." Tim goes like, "It doesn't work for me either."
All right.
You know, and, poof, and then that's it,
I don't have a dick, but I just felt a twinge.
right?
Don't like that.
I can't lie.
I know. That's why immediately when you said I pictured it, I was like, she pictured me and Rick. Because, you know.
Because you guys are right there.
I know.
Funny.
And it was fast. Whatever. Okay. More sex talk because I want one more question. Since
What do
we're
you
asking
got,
about-
Nate? What do you got?
Since you're asking about dating, has there ever been something you wanted to do that your partner wasn't into?
That's a good question. I don't think so.
Because you don't even ask. You
You're going to take this.
Greedy.
No, usually. Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever been turned down for such things.
Oh.
Mm.
Well,
Has there ever been a little like, I
don't do freaky shit, like too freaky shit either.
Well, okay,
it should
so
be
then,
noted.
Okay, wait.
nah.
What is too freaky shit?
Yeah, because pegging is
She said,
So I just do normal shit like
I'll
pegging.
fuck you,
Yeah,
but I'm not super freaky, which I'm like, what does that mean to you?
I mean, the foreskin thing was new to me.
So you're
But
saying.
if you had foreskin,
So you're
If I
saying.
had foreskin, I'd probably try it.
Okay.
Not gonna lie.
I was gonna say, so you wouldn't put your clit in the hood of another hood docking,
hawking.
hawking.
Oh, that's a big time. Thanks, I hate it.
Really, really difficult to
I don't
do.
like that. I don't like that.
Oh
No.
my goodness. It's okay. So what are you working? Oh, you started your own podcast.
I did. Yeah, I did start a podcast.
So what made you decide to go from YouTube to podcast life?
Well, we were kind of talking about it earlier. Like, podcast audiences are really chill.
Yeah.
And I like the more conversational format. Like, I think YouTube attention spans are so short.
Yeah,
Like,
isn't that crazy?
people just, and for the type of stuff that I'm interested in, you can't do it in just like 2 minutes, you know? Like, it's complicated, and like people have a lot of feelings and thoughts, and like there has to be a lot of room for that. So I think podcasting is better
Yeah, I mean, I definitely remember back in the day feeling like, even when I was doing like advice videos, you know, I'm like, these can't be longer than 10 minutes. And I was answering like 4 different questions. So that was like 2 minutes a question. You know what I'm saying?
Fast.
Yeah.
You really have to be fast.
Super general. I feel like I'd have to get the joke, get the point, be done with it, move on. You know?
I feel that.
With this shit, we can talk about an hour about some bullshit and people will put it on and fucking do the dishes. And
it's nice.
It's not bullshit. It's meaningful conversation.
I know. Meaningful conversations can be bullshit too. It's all a circle jerk of life. A circle doc.
I love it. Because I love podcasts too. That's the other thing. Like when I was a teenager, I loved YouTube. I don't really watch YouTube anymore.
Right.
You know, now I listen to podcasts. So might as well make some podcasts. And I think the topic, because I'm not really talking about sex on it. It's about the internet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that weird, not talking about sex?
A little bit, just like in terms of making stuff that's not about sex. But it's also really nice because I've been doing that for 12 years.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
Switching it up on them.
Yeah, and it's cool. And like all this stuff happening online and like the ways that it's changing dating and the ways that it's changing how we look things up and like how people understand basic health information, all kinds of stuff like that is so fascinating. It's like this huge revolutionary change that's happened in like 5 years, and it's very rarely talked about.
Right.
Like people very rarely acknowledge things like dating apps, for instance. I mean, look how much it's changed how relationships happen.
Yeah.
Like the entire culture has changed around dating, and that's wild.
You ever get down on the Tinder life? I've never got to experience that, so I'm always curious.
That's true. You're a
Same.
long-term man.
Yeah.
Really? You haven't used it?
I've never used a dating app.
Oh, wow.
So tell us.
Yeah.
You guys have never been on a dating app?
Instagram was my dating app.
Okay, yeah. Well, Instagram is similar. I
Right.
think you like seeing pictures of people and then you're messaging.
But in terms of like an actual, I'm on this app to potentially hook up or date somebody.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that. So
none
how
of
was that for you, being somebody who was, you know, grown before the dating app craze and then got to experience that? Like, how was that?
It's annoying.
How
It's really
so?
fucking annoying. I think that like everyone's so flaky in LA.
Yeah.
But I feel like dating apps like enshrine that behavior, and it makes it hard to like I haven't had that problem as much myself, but I've heard a lot of people just like will make dates or whatever, and people stop responding or they get ghosted, and like there's a lot of rejection that is built in because you know you go on a dating app and you're swiping for hours. There's thousands of people, right?
Right.
So when you have thousands of choices in the palm of your hand, I think that it can create this mentality where you don't really treat those pictures, those things you're seeing on the screen as
I
people.
see.
Yeah, you're
It's like
treating
a game almost.
Yeah, you're treating them like tokens, or you're kind of like removing their humanity through the screen, and you know, seeing people as disposable. Like
Yeah.
I can ignore you, or you know, ghost you, or stand you up because there's no accountability. Like, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, I can literally just put my phone down and be done with it forever.
Yeah.
And it is like acceptable to do that also. So yeah, I think it's hard. I've actually had really positive experiences personally. I dated someone that I met on an app for like 2 years.
Word.
Yeah, and that was a really positive relationship, and I made a lot of friends through that relationship, and it was when I first moved to LA. So it was like, you know, nice to have someone to take me out around the city and like learn more about LA because he lived here for a while. So yeah, I think it can be positive, but I think that the culture and like the norms around it, like what's acceptable, how you talk to each other, how you set up dates, how you respond afterward if you go out and you're not really feeling it. Like I think that kind of stuff can be really toxic for people.
Are you someone who's more likely to respond to, hey, I'm genuinely interested open liner, or a joke, or a compliment?
I like jokes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if someone has a sense of humor and it's actually funny,
Yeah.
If anything else, I know we'll probably just have like a fun time.
Word.
You know, fucking around. Like we'll go get a drink, and even if there's no connection, it's not going to be horrible because
Right.
you know they don't take life too seriously.
I always, you know, when I think about just dating apps, I always think like, man, how would I approach if I was doing that shit? Because I always see people taking like screenshots of like corny jokes that
God,
people
it's so
try to
bad.
start with, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I would totally start with a fucking ridiculous ass joke because I feel like one of two things is gonna happen. It's either gonna be somebody who fucking loves how corny this joke is, meaning we're gonna get along, or it's gonna be somebody who'd be like, "Oh my god, this is so corny," and I'm like, "Okay, I just saved myself some time."
Yeah, that's a good way to weed people out.
Right.
Like if they're not down with your sense of humor or whatever, then don't waste your time.
I check my DMs every once in a while. There's some people that are entertaining.
Yeah.
Not that I'm going to entertain them, but I'm like, oh, that's actually like, I noticed you.
Uh-huh.
And, and I'll be like, ha ha ha. Like sometimes, but that's like, the equivalent of me responding, like, I'll acknowledge you because you put some effort. I'll acknowledge you. You put some effort into that. You get one of these.
Well, how about when they send the joke with a dick pic as well? That takes it
Two
next
jokes.
level.
I haven't
Two jokes.
I haven't gotten a dick pic in a long time. Please don't say that. Don't send it. Because I stopped blocking on Snapchat. I just don't open random things. And Instagram has done a really great job of that black box with the blur over it.
Yeah.
So I don't see a lot. So even if you attempted to send it to me, it wouldn't matter anyways. Thank God for the unread portion on Instagram now that you can unread a message and unsee it. But there are some times where I had somebody write me and said, I need you. But it was somebody with, of course, a verified account with a shit ton of followers. And I was like, in my head, I go, I can't trust you because you have no fear of like somebody being like, yeah, look, so-and-so wrote me. Especially like, I need you. Like, for what? Like you probably shouldn't be writing
You
people.
just said, I need you.
I need you. That's it. I need you. Oh, I need you. Chill face. The face emoji, and then flames. And I was like, I don't even understand what that means. But
He was saying, "Damn, I need you. You fired."
yeah, like I think that's how it came off. Like, need
that's
you.
interesting how you perceive that face because I always thought that face was this.
The one with the big teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it's another one with like
the chill. There was one with there's like the chill.
Oh, he said
chill.
that?
Yeah, it
Like
was a
the
chill.
icing.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's why I was like, I don't know what this means, but I'm not gonna respond. I
He's
mean,
cold.
right? Am I
He
cold?
needs
Or maybe
Do I have
he
to
was
hit him up?
cuddle.
he was like pumping your head saying I need you, but didn't want you to think you was too much to shit. So he sent you the cold with the fire to let you know you was warm.
Lukewarm. You're a lukewarm girl.
You know what happened when I read that message? I went, unread. I was like, I'm gonna unread and delete. Like I'm just put my hands up and walk. But I could only imagine. So like going and putting yourself out there. My sister has used it before, and she's in a wonderful relationship. Like still with the guy. I think he's dope as shit. Like he gets along with her ex. My brother-in-law. They
that's
get. I mean
a really
they
good sign.
they get along. We just did my niece's birthday. I mean it's great. And so I totally believe people can, find love and do that. But I'll tell you this, I had asked them, are you guys going to move in together? And she's like, I'm completely content with where we're at right now in life. And I was like, wow, that's huge, especially because it actually is like, it's working out. It's great. She's like, no, they respect each other's space. But I think because when she went on the app, she knew what she was looking for. She found somebody who could respect that. And so it was mutual and it worked. But a lot of people have to find that even like regular dating and just even figuring out your partners or friends.
Dating's hard, period. It sucks.
I've had a couple guys use my picture as their Tinder profile, like pretend to be me. You know what I'm saying? And then people will screenshot that and send it to me, like, "Oh my god, this guy is like using your picture," and I'm like, "Go on a date with him, please. Go on a date with him. And tell me what happened."
That happens
Go get murdered.
all
Go
the
get murdered. But try to tell me what happened before you
oh my
murdered.
god.
Wait,
That's
people
a
use
murderer.
your picture?
All the time. I mean, people use my picture all the time, whether they're catfishing somebody on dating apps, creating new profiles, making complete pages. Like, yeah, I've had to fight so many, like, let people know that's really not me. Don't send this money. Don't go on that date.
Oh, God.
When I say I'm not looking, I really mean like, hey, if anybody's hitting you up, that's not me because I'm really not looking. So don't get catfished. I'm not, we're not verified. So I can't tell you like, oh, this is my only profile. But it's like, yo, it's really not me. And I went on a Twitter and I said, if anybody is asking you for money and you look at her page and it was created in the year that she's writing you, it's fake. It's fake. She's not hitting up the random.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Or she got hacked at 300,000, and now
No, I got. Wait, what is
And
it?
now
I got,
I need money to get my 300,000 back.
hacked at 2 million followers.
Yeah.
$5 for my private account. Like,
Yeah.
Too funny.
Well, how do you react to the dick pics, Laci Green?
Not a fan. Not a fan. Like I like dick as much as the next person who likes dick, I guess. But I don't want to see a picture of it.
from
That's
a
not
random
hot.
person or from your person?
Anyone.
Oh,
So you don't
okay.
like it as much as the next person.
Because I don't mind.
because the
I'm
next
like,
person is
me,
Nikki.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you're my man, you can send that. I'm like, I feel like if if you like to send them, then you might as well send them to me so you're not tempted
Sure.
to send them
Yeah, in that
elsewhere.
case. And if it's my partner, it's better.
Yeah.
But it's still like,
not what you want.
I prefer pictures of their face. And
Really?
Like bare
Every once in a
chest.
while, I'll be like,
Shirtless.
really? Every once in a while.
Look at the faces.
I
of
was
the
like,
guys
I
you talk to.
did a long distance relationship. Like a majority of my relationships have been long distance. So
Oh,
maybe because I'm a very visual person that I associate that with like, yes, we're doing good. You're happy. You're into this. I can see it. Like I've always put that again. Long distance, you got to figure it out. Sometimes I'm looking at the face like, nah, babe, let's, like I have
No, if it was long distance,
you know
that'd
what
be
I'm
different.
saying, like, babe, put that shit on the screen. I've said pull it out. I'll be like, pull it out right now.
Yeah.
Just like that. Like go in the bathroom, go pull it out.
Yeah, I think long distance is different. Or when they're on a trip or something.
He's like, see, that's good.
Yeah, but like
You
I've
don't have to
never.
pretend to like it. It's
I,
okay.
I've well,
It's
I'm
not
not
your thing.
pretending to
Different-
like it.
different strokes.
I think there is like a little bit of room for like it can be sexy, like when you're exchanging pictures with each
Yeah.
other. But yeah, in general, like it just doesn't really do anything for me.
Man,
It doesn't repulse me, but it's just like okay, there's your dick. There it be.
I miss sending dick pics, man. Let me tell you, man.
You can still send them.
Yeah, it's not as fun.
Oh.
No, I'm saying it's not
She
as.
sees it every day.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's like,
when you live together.
I was
Right.
sending them because we're in a long distance relationship. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying now, and then it was like, hey, surprise! It was my dick.
Here's how
Yeah.
you make it fun, dude. Go in the other room.
Be like, let's pretend that you're.
Send it from there.
Pretend to be
Go
the
in the
other
other room.
I feel like
Yeah.
FaceTiming you right now, babe. I miss you so
No.
Aw.
Here's how I make it fun: is I take pictures of my dick next to her when she's asleep, and then send those to her throughout the day.
That's funny.
That's a new approach.
Or-
That is a new one.
Send them from the other room. Go back into the room before she checks her phone and record her reaction every time.
Hey.
Yeah, make a compilation.
Okay.
Here's what people
Gotta
don't.
spice it up.
Here's what people might not know. I discovered this. If you draw a happy face on your penis, filters will read it. Snapchat filters and Instagram will recognize it as a face.
Oh no, there's gonna be a bunch of these going around the internet now, Tim.
You can put the filters on your dick. It's pretty fucking sweet.
Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Are you
Like-
agreeing because you've tried it?
Yeah.
Yeah, duh.
I mean, we're like, oh really?
It's pretty cool. It's
I'm like, I
Is
made
that
my dick
for
a girl.
Anything you put a smiley face on?
it literally it does.
It
yeah.
just needs 2 dots.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
2 dots and a relative like mouth, so it can recognize like a face, and then it'll work.
I'm like,
Okay.
we better try to put faces on.
Do it on your finger.
Put a face
I
on.
touched it on my finger when he told me that.
Yeah,
You're like, let's see.
That's wholesome.
or your massive clitorises.
Whoa.
Thanks, Tim.
Wow.
Thank you for that suggestion.
Right before you guys dock your clits, put the
Just
filters.
sounds complicated. Like, so what? How does that even work? Okay, we got to come up with there's something else.
Hawk. It's hawk.
Hawk. Would you like to hawk me?
Someone out there is gonna try that.
Somebody's gonna try.
Please
they're gonna-
report
And
back
that's
in.
cool.
Yeah. You can write
Nothing
us.
wrong with it.
Let us know how your hawk went.
I ripped
Full
my head
write-up.
trying to hawk.
Do it with your new Tinder date. Ask them if they know about hockey.
Yeah, man. Tinder.
What's your podcast called? You didn't say that.
Oh, it's called Indirect Message.
Indirect message.
Yes.
I got you.
Yes.
The double meaning.
Double meaning.
Because
Yeah.
it's about the internet, but then it's also like, hey, we're talking to you about stuff you might not know about.
Well, also like in an indirect way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like kind of it's more interview based. Like it's not quite like this cuz it's edited and like there's storytelling, basically using stories from things that have happened online.
Okay.
Yeah, like the first one, you guys know the whole James Charles thing that happened.
I mean, he's always had a lot of stuff that's happened.
Oh, that's
Yes.
true, but there was
Which
like
specific-
one really big thing that
The one where he
happened.
was hitting on all the
straight
guys?
boys?
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Toddy
Yeah.
stuff and that
Yeah.
whole mess.
Yeah.
That was a mess.
Yeah. So like talking about cancel culture and like how crazy of a spectacle that was. Everybody just immediately, just from one person saying something about him.
Yeah.
Like all this stuff happens. He loses like 4 or 5 million subscribers, and
He got him back.
Yeah.
yeah, well, he's slowly getting them back.
Right.
He actually is not back where he was before.
Not yet?
Not yet. Yeah, but just, you know, there's so many crazy things that happen online that when you kind of like take a step back, it's like, what the hell? Like 4 million people unsubscribing because of something some other YouTuber said about him with like,
And they were
no
so
evidence.
in love with him
no proof.
before that.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like a little bloodthirsty, but
People so fickle, man.
yeah, but I mean, there's all kinds of stuff like that, like the anti-vax movement. Like the internet gave us that. It's beautiful.
We had got into a big thing on the radio because of that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like and you know, mind you, everything is regulated. So there was a very angry people writing in. And I was like, I don't have a stand on this. It's not that important to me at this moment because I'm not educated on it. But when you tell people that, they're like, well, you need to learn. I'm like, well, are you going to teach me or are you just going to yell at me? Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. But how do you deal with so many different topics to constantly go over? Like, what makes you choose that one for that particular guest?
Mostly because they have experience talking about or maybe they have something that's happened to them that is relevant. Like the next episode's with Tay Zonde.
Tay's on there.
Yeah, you know Tay, right?
Of course I know
Yeah,
Tay.
Mr. Chocolate Rain. And we're talking about like what it's like to become a meme and like how that affects your life and what even is a meme. You know, what qualifies as a meme? Is it just like any picture you slap some text on?
Right.
Is that a meme? No,
Not
it's not.
anymore, yeah,
No, it's
yeah.
not. There's actually like a scientific definition of a meme,
Right.
which I didn't know. But yeah,
That should be interesting.
Tune in
Tay's
to
an
find out about it.
Tay's an interesting dude.
yeah, he is. He is. He has a lot of. Well, his experience is interesting. He was one of the first big memes.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Chocolate Rain.
Mr.
Baby
Chocolate
born and
Rain.
dying before the
I watched
sin.
his video the other night. Did you know he did like a cherry chocolate rain?
Cherry
For Dr.
chocolate
Pepper?
rain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you see that commercial?
Of course.
Oh my god, I was dying.
Oh, Tay.
Oh, it was the thing.
Well, shit. Do you have anything else you want to plug before we kick you out?
No, this was really fun. It was
for
really good
coming.
to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah,
girl.
yeah, this is fun.
Well, shit, make sure you check out Laci Green on everything and check out our new podcast. And thank you guys for listening to our podcast. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit. People always ask, here's what's annoying. I've been doing this shit since February. And people will still be in my comments, where can I listen to it? I'm like, guys, it literally says link in bio every time I post a picture. You can watch the shit on YouTube every week, and it's on Spotify and iTunes.
Or who is she in the middle? I'm she.
Also, no, they love you. It's only the new people.
It's only the new people. It's like, hey, bro. No, I mean, but it's never like, oh my God, who is she? It's more like, hey, tag her. Like,
Yeah, no,
tune
for
in.
real.
It's like tag her. I was like, tune in and Tim, tag me, damn it.
It'll be the fucking random ass one where like I'll like the title will be something a little more kind of like alluring, so they kind of tune in. People that didn't tune in since February, and they'll be like, yo, but who's shorty in the middle? Who's Tolly in the middle though?
Tolly.
The one that's in every video. Thanks, Tim, because now I have Amazonian everything.
Well, anyway, I'm Timothy Dalgado. This is the Amazonian Nikki Blades. This is the
Plumpazonian.
Thank you for watching the No Chaser podcast. Peace, motherfucker.
Plumpazonian.